Hello, amazing ones. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's Laura Wick here, Body Mind Coach from laurawick.com. I'm actually out in my backyard, back in Ohio today. You might hear the rain sprinkling on the umbrella above me, but I wanted to pop on here. For those of you who've been following me, you'll know that last week I attended the Consumer Health Summit, which was amazing. And I am still processing all of that awesomeness, and I'm excited to infuse that and incorporate with what I share with you guys. But one of the things that really struck me that I left with, and just this thought that has been percolating in my heart, and is this idea that when we look into the future of healthcare, when we look into the future, I don't want to say medicine, because obviously that's not necessarily my specialty, but when we look at the future of healthcare and how we as a culture start to shift our healthcare, one thing that really struck me is that I think consciousness and our ability to connect and feel is actually the future of how we start to better manage our health. And it really got me fired up, and I wanted to come on here today and talk about a little bit more practically about why body and mind equals magic, and what that does for us, what that does for our clients, what it does for how we build our businesses. And by the way, if you didn't know this yet, I'm hosting a training, a workshop, where I'm actually going to share with you what I call the Bodybuine Method. And this is a structure you can use in your sessions to help better support your clients in creating transformation, while also giving you some tools to actually build your business in a really powerful and loving way. And it really comes down to this idea of why body plus mind equals magic. So that's what I want to share with you today. I don't know about you, but my degree is in biology, and I never ever planned to be a massage therapist. I think a lot of people who get into this work, whether you do massage or yoga or acupuncture, typically this work is a calling. It was for me. And I remember going to massage school being so prepared to give and learning the tools to give an amazing massage, right? We learned, again, my degree's in biology, so I love anatomy and physiology. I loved really learning about the body, learning the techniques of how I can help improve circulation, how I can help, with like lymph drainage, how I can help bring balance back into the body. And so I felt really prepared to give an amazing massage. We talked about all the different pathologies, different treatment protocols, stuff like that. And what happened when I started practicing, and I don't know if this happens to any of you, is there's two things. First is my clients would come in with like a headache, and then somehow I would go home with a headache. My clients would come in, their shoulders would hurt, and somehow I would go home with my shoulders hurting. And so I started to see that energetic transference. And I'm curious if you've ever had that happen to you. Like, just be like, yes, like click that heart button, be like, oh my God, I feel you, right? And I'm a bio nerd. I was never like the woo person. And it really opened my eyes, right? The other thing that happened was my clients were talking, right? I felt prepared to give an amazing session, but my clients were talking and sharing stories. They were talking about their stress. They were talking about what was going on in their life. You start working on a shoulder and they're telling you about how they're feeling a lot of responsibility at work. And so I just started to see this really interesting thing happen. And I knew that what was going on in their shoulders was impacting, what was going on in their life was impacting how they felt. And then, I saw them have this amazing experience on the table. They would get relaxed. And I was like, I know that thing that you're looking for during this session, what you're hoping to get out of this session, is actually the feeling. And what they want in their lives is a way to carry the feeling, that relaxed relief, that openness, that expansion that they have during a session, which physiologically creates a state change in their body. They wanted, like, I saw what they needed was to be able to take that feeling and take that energy and live it forward in their life. But here's what happened. This is where I think the breakdown is in how we have been taught to work and why I believe body plus mind equals magic. When we're taught just our modalities and we're taught nothing about how to handle the conversation, we actually create a disconnect between body and mind. And I believe that everything we're looking at in our culture right now, I would call it the disease of disconnection. We are disconnected. We're disconnected from each other. We're disconnected from the planet. But I think all of this stems from a disconnection within ourselves. We, as a culture, right? We're taught that we have to think and plan and be in our heads. We're taught that our feelings, our emotions are illogical. We're taught that they're crazy. We're taught that they should be, we shouldn't feel them. And so what happens is we've created this judgment around what we feel in our bodies energetically. So that disconnection of not being able to feel the energy of our body, because it's not about emotions, it's not about how you label them, it's just energy in the body that is waiting to be felt and waiting to be heard. And so what's happening is this disconnection, because we have been taught not to feel, what's happening is it's creating stress, because the body is sitting here screaming. So when your clients come into that yoga class, when your clients come into a session with you, when your clients are asking for Reiki, whatever it is, when they're coming to you feeling stressed, feeling overwhelmed, needing a space and time to relax, what they're really saying is, I am disconnected to myself. Okay? Now, so that means they oftentimes come in and they're in their head, disconnected from their bodies. Now, of course, you're amazing. So, hey, Christine. Hi, Manedra. So, of course, you're amazing at what you do. So you give them an amazing session that brings them back into their body. All right, now here's what's interesting. We actually have 3 brains within our body. We have the brain in our head, which our culture likes to idolize and tells us controls the whole thing, which it does not. The brain in your head, and I'm really speaking to that neocortex, that higher level thinking, is a tool. But we have been taught the tool is the master, and it's actually the thing that has created the disconnection. You also have a brain resting at the base of your pelvic bowl, your enteric nervous system. Now, what's really interesting is that enteric nervous system is constantly picking up on information in your body, and it's sending that information up to the brain and telling the brain how to think. So when you become disconnected, and we're taught that our feelings, the energy of our feelings, is bad or wrong, we disconnect from really being able to use the information that our body is sending us. Now, you also have a brain in your heart, which if you've ever looked at the Heart Math Institute, you can feel the energy of your heart up to 15-20 feet away. That, for me, your heart brain is really about connection to source, it's connection to purpose. And when you are living from your heart, it's like you're radiating, right? So when we have all these preconceived notions about what it means to feel, just simply feel, and we disconnect, we're actually disconnecting from the information of those 3 brains. And I believe that what people are seeking is actually alignment. When we talk about alignment is actually connection where those 3 brains are working together, where you are aligned with your purpose, where you're tapped into the feeling of your body and tuned into that wisdom, and then you're coming up to the mind and you're actually oh, I'm so glad you like this, Elizabeth, and you're coming up into the mind and you are using the mind, the brain in the head as a tool to start to take action, right? So I'm going to come back to the session, and this is again why I'm doing this workshop on Monday, because I actually want to show you how to connect the 3 of them during your session. So what's happening is client comes in super stuck in the head, disconnected from the body. You give them an amazing session. They come back into their body. But the link between body and brain, there is no verbal processing. When you have a feeling, it's actually not associated to the language part of your brain, so you can't describe it, right? So what happens is clients have this amazing feeling. They don't have a language or a framework of how to actually take that feeling and live it forward. right? So what happens is in a typical, I come from the massage world, so let me just use this as an example. Before I understood coaching and understood how to use the conversation, clients came in their heads, I would give an amazing session, they connect back to their body, they get off the table, literally I could see somebody check their phone, they'd walk out to their car, they go right back into the head, into the same limiting beliefs that got them stuck and created their stress in the same place, and it created this looping effect for me. It created a looping effect for them where every 2 weeks to a month they were coming back in with the same fucking complaint, and it drove me crazy. And I see so many practitioners going modality to modality to modality, hoping that if they find a physical thing that they can do to help their clients, it will be like this magic bullet. But I gotta tell you, it's the conversation. It is understanding how to have a structure to your conversation that is what allows you to link that body-mind. And when you understand how to have a flow to that conversation, and guys, this is more than just being nice, because whether or not you're aware of it, how you talk to your clients can either keep them focused on their goals and what they want, or keep them focused on their pain. And one of the things I got to tell you that has, almost every single massage I've ever gotten, the only conversation somebody ever asks is, what's going on? What hurts? Okay, great. Or what do you want me to focus on? Which that question only focuses on the thing I don't want. If you're like, what's bothering you today? What do you want me to focus on? Guess where my brain goes? It goes to dysfunction. Guess what the practitioner and I do for the next hour? We focus and put energy into dysfunction, not into actually moving forward. Now then the other thing, this is what typically happens, is most practitioners, you get off the table and they say, does the thing that hurt feel better? What am I measuring with that question? I'm measuring pain. So even if the thing that hurt feels a little better, my brain is walking out of the appointment focused on the very thing that hurt in the first place. And so even though there's temporary relief and I'm disconnected, I don't know how to feel and move on forward from that, right? I'm actually looping and keeping my attention, keeping my brain focused on pain. And I leave measuring the thing that hurts, which means it's gonna come back. All right, so what needs to shift, I think, if you've been feeling like there's something missing in your work, if you sense that there's like a deeper layer in how you can help your clients, I gotta tell you, the conversation structure will completely change your entire practice. It will make your work feel so much deeper. It will help your clients, right, start to connect body and mind and start to use those two in harmony so that they can actually be empowered and make different choices as they move forward. So they have the tools to listen to their body, to use that information in a practical, empowering way in their lives. And the conversation literally is a game changer for you, because also the thing with the conversation is when you are very empowered by that and you know how to use it, you can actually and lovingly create treatment plans. One thing we teach in Body Mind Coaching is how to create program structures. So now you're actually able to build your business in a way that aligns with your clients and their goals. And it's honestly, you know, if you watched my Facebook Live the other day, I got a little fired up. It is time for this industry to shift, and we have to really claim one of the most valuable parts of the session, which is the conversation, right? So that's why I developed the Bodybuine Method. It's a 5-step process that you do during your session. It's a really simple, powerful structure that seamlessly ties that mind and body, but it uses a conversation, a coaching conversation structure, combines it with your body work, and helps you actually move clients forward. All right, so if you're interested in joining me, the workshop is going to be amazing. It's with me. And go to thenewbodymind.com/workshop to enroll. This is something that you do have to enroll and sign up for, just because it is so valuable. It will move the needle in your business. There's so much that stems from this. So we're going to be really looking into what does your anatomy and physiology have to do with the conversation? How can you use that? How can you go through that 5-step process in a way that is going to serve and support your clients? I got to say that this is something I learned coaching way back in, I started being coached in 2006, and then I did my first coaching certification in 2008. When I understood how to use the conversation, even when I worked at a spa for somebody else, my rebooking rate was about 90% because I knew how to use the conversation. And what happened was I was able to negotiate a higher, commission for my services. I got the better schedule because my bosses knew that if somebody was on my table, it helped their business, right? From there, I started my business and started my own practice, and just knowing how to use the conversation allowed me to go from, 0 to booked in a really short period of time, because everything in your business is all about that conversation, right? Rebooking's a conversation, your marketing's a conversation, we're having a conversation here, right? Everything in your business is a conversation, and so you really have to understand how to utilize that to grow, but also to serve your clients. So I would love, love, love for all of you to join me. And I just want to say, thinking back to what I picked up this week and thinking about how the future of how we all better manage our health is really going to bring in a deeper level of consciousness and awareness. I think, and I fully believe in my body and in my truth, and Melissa Grossman, if you're watching, I know you know when I go down there, in my bones, right? This work is so powerful, and this process of just this, it's so simple how to use this conversation, and it will dramatically increase client results, help you build a better business. It's amazing. So please, please, please join me. You are more than welcome. We're invited. We'll have some fun to join me, thenewbodymind.com/workshop, because body mind equals magic.